My name is John McCombs. I'm the Chair of Trustees for the Friends of Childwall Woods and Fields, and we look after this wonderful 39-acre local nature reserve here in South Liverpool. So our mission is to protect and preserve this site because of its fantastic biodiversity, because of its fantastic social value. During lockdown we all sought outdoor spaces in the limited time we had to exercise. And this site was an absolute fantastic support for so many people who would have suffered so much social isolation, and the value of our parks has really come to the fore because of the COVID crisis. This site has been in existence for several hundred years, but it's only now that we are really appreciating the value of our green spaces and our open spaces, and it's through the fantastic social value of this site that we can get so many volunteers who are willing to support our mission. And we have volunteers who will help cut back the invasive species, the rhododendrons, all of that, who will catalogue all of the bird life, who will catalogue all of the fungi, who will look at the social history, which is important. We don't like to think of small number of people, landowners who have vast amounts of land purely to themselves, but because of that history of this site being in single ownership for so long, up until the 1940s, that we now have that legacy and that inheritance, and it's because the site's been left alone for so long that we have such a fantastic array of species, that we have such biodiversity, and that we have this wonderful asset for people to explore, to exploit sustainably and to enjoy. So I've worked with Viper Productions on previous productions, and I really do appreciate what they do in terms of supporting accessibility to the normally exclusive film industry. So I'm very, very happy to support them on site with site logistics, etc., because I know the site so very, very well, and because I like to think I'm a fairly capable fellow and don't get too bothered by challenges being thrown at me last minute. Thank you, Carl. And so yes, very happy to support this, and the poem itself, having heard it today, is so very right for this site. I won't say too much about the poem. Clearly that will be linked with the filming of this interview, but the site lends itself to the poem so very, very well, and such a beautiful message within the poem. Being very new to all of the filming process, I find it fascinating to be the fly on the wall, to be the sort of bystander, and to see what's happened, to all those things you hear about and you sort of are on the periphery of your understanding. Seeing the filming taking place all day today, you get to see a bit more in depth, but you also get to see the creative, the imagination of how something that could have been done in perhaps a mundane fashion has been done in such a fantastic visionary fashion, and how you can perhaps see, as much as you don't know what the edit will bring, it's all in the edit sort of thing once the wrap's been done, but you can see how much has been provided for the editor to have available in terms of the multiple takes, in terms of the creative overlays, in terms of the different people involved, in terms of those sound edits and the visual edits. There's a rich tapestry there that will only lead to, I hope, a fantastic final result. So we're coming to the end of a 2-year project. We've spent £93,000 improving the access to the park. We've done about 1,000 linear metres of pathways. We've also, as well as providing access for people to enjoy the park, we've also improved the lot of nature here, and we have had lots of volunteer events here. We've cut back invasive species. We have installed a wetland environment with a wheelchair accessible dipping pond, which is very shallow, for the children to be able to reach in with the nets and scoop up the water boatmen and the various aquatic insects and all of the newts perhaps that are there. But we've also got a hidden pond, which is a much deeper affair, which is for nature to do what nature does best, and that will act as a catalyst the water brings insects, the insects feed the birds, the insects feed the bats, the insects feeds acts as a catalyst to improve the whole biodiversity and kickstart the whole of the acceleration of the species within the site. And we're pleased to have almost come to an end to that project. Our next project, well, the first thing we've got to do is have a conversation. All change shouldn't be done to people, it shouldn't be done for people, it should be done with people. So we'll be having a community conversation with people beyond our membership to find out what they want from the site. They told us last time that as much as they were happy for us to improve the access of part of the site, they also enjoyed the fact that this is a wild place within the city, and so they wanted parts of this site to be left almost untouched. And so we're going to have a second community conversation with people to find out what they want in terms of our maintenance, what they want in terms of our ongoing projects. But there are so many layers of the onion skin here in terms of the social history, in terms of all that flora and fauna and biology that's going on here, that there is so much that we can do to improve matters here. And hopefully we'll have more film production crews, maybe we'll have more perhaps different elements so that we can, as I said earlier, sustainably exploit this place to its best value. The greatest threat to the planet is that everyone thinks that solving climate change is another person's problem, it's for someone else to solve. We can't all be Greta Thunbergs sailing across to talk to the United Nations or to talk to various governments, but we can all look after nature in our own backyard. We're lucky enough to have 39 acres of our backyard here in Childwall, and there are so many local people who are actively involved in supporting nature and supporting combating climate change in what is their backyard. If everyone did the same, then the billions of people across the planet wouldn't be part of the problem, they'd be part of the solution.